something I am very excited for. I had no
I knew
idea
you,
what was going on here,
I
but
knew
you
you
shared
would
this
be.
trailer. Yeah.
I saw it and immediately. It was like, John's gonna love it. I know he is.
Yes. Um, so yeah, Crimes of the Future,
Mm-hmm.
David
Yes.
Cronenberg.
Yes. Big names. Leah
Mhm.
Seydoux, Kristen Stewart, Viggo Mortensen. Um, and actually what I first caught this on was an article about, the Cannes Film Festival coming back, and it's like full force, like everybody's going out, like um, they're gonna have like the red carpets, the parties, everything's happening again. And this film, Crimes of the Future, is kind of one of the darlings, the pre-festival darlings of the
Mm,
festival. You know what I mean? Like when everybody kind of goes in and like a couple of movies already have like the hype going in. Crimes of the Future is one that had a lot of hype going in. So I was like, oh, well, let me check out this trailer. And it looked suitably creepy and awesome, and
yeah.
I like the snippets we've gotten of the performances. Viggo Mortensen seems so different than the warm, relatable characters he kind of usually plays. I was very
Sure.
like off put and creepified, if I
He's so
can
good.
make up a word.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I really enjoyed this trailer, and I'm looking forward to this movie.
Yeah, so the trailer you shared is French. So French production,
Yes,
but
yes,
English speaking.
English
Um,
speaking French production.
I mean, I usually it gets my attention anytime Vigo's in something because he seems so choosy,
Yes.
and there's plenty of movies of his I still haven't seen, but I just in my head I'm like, well, that's probably decent, at
Yep.
least good quality because he really seems picky.
Yeah,
Um,
he's only, I think we talked about this. He's only ever had the one like I did it for commercial
yeah,
Hidalgo.
Hidalgo, yeah, mhm,
Everybody knows that one. You're like, "Oh no." And
yep.
then everything else is his.
But this felt like HR Geiger at times. It
Mhm.
felt like if sort of I don't know, Blade Runnery, but
Mhm.
really, really seductive. So like I don't know, Eyes Wide Shut with
Yeah.
like a Clockwork Orange. Just it's a lot of different tones going on here. I don't know
Yeah.
what's happening, but it just is appealing.
Yes. Yep. It reminded me of like a serious, real, there's actual talent here, um kind of upscale Repo the Genetic Opera. If you've ever seen that, I mean, it's a wonderful, darling trash fire of a movie. And it's set in the future where like people pay to have surgery, and like surgery is like the thing that you do, and you constantly want to like upgrade your body. And if you can't pay for it, like repo men come and like take
Oh,
back the
right.
body parts that
That's been
you've
mhm.
like paid for and gotten done, but now you can't pay for, so they're taking back pieces of you. So
Yep.
this kind of reminded me a little bit of like, this is that. So like that movie is like total campy, wonderful nonsense, and I love it. This is like real life,
Yeah.
actual terrifying, like what if this was happening? So,
Yep.
and what if people were like this addicted to surgery?
Yeah. Well, and something like I've been thinking about recently is this is kind of a tangent, but
Sure.
uh, Ashley left her phone at the gym the other day. So
Okay.
it's locked in there and she needs to communicate with clients or whatever and stuff. And so it was definitely gonna be in there overnight and
Mhm.
hopefully be able to get it the next day sometime.
Mhm.
And she has her watch that happened to be not working then. It needed to be like reset or something. So she wasn't getting calls that would normally come through on her
Oh,
watches.
yeah,
She could
yeah.
make calls and you could call her via FaceTime or something. But if someone
Sure.
just did a normal call, it wasn't going to work. So
Shoot.
it was one of those things like I've talked about this before, but it kind of hit her a little more at this point, like how dependent we are on basically this extra appendage, the
Mhm.
phone. And
Mhm.
not everybody has this affliction, but I would say most people do in
Mhm.
this day and age. And so the cyberpunk dream is kind of always the augmentation, the this will be in your in your contact lens and eventually in your head at some point, and just will
Right.
be, you'll just be connected. So you
Yep.
just like but we already have the problem. She was already in just half a day constantly like reaching for her phone that wasn't
Mhm.
there.
Yep.
Always, and wasn't for a purpose most of the time. It
Mhm.
just was because.
Reflex.
And yeah. And so that's bad enough the way it is. If this is in us, a part of us,
Mhm.
how do we handle that? Because theoretically, we should be able to adapt to this potentially.
Mhm.
But is it good for us
Right.
to, I don't know. I mean, obviously, there's not really an answer to this, probably, whatever, but it just has me thinking more like, so today I didn't wear my Apple Watch at all. I
Nice.
have more like just left my phone someplace else most of the time.
Nice.
And just,
Good for you.
but there's so many practical things then, like if I'm going to be driving somewhere, I want to be able to stream a show or music or podcast or whatever,
Mhm.
using it in that situation.
Mhm.
So I don't know. What do you think? The future
No,
where it's like, yeah, being addicted to surgery or tech or integrated, and our
yeah.
current like addiction already with an external device.
Yeah, while you were kind of talking about that, I was thinking about how I even get panicky, about things that this technology is supposed to help me with. Like I love my Apple Watch and I love that it like tracks like, hey, you haven't been standing up enough, or like you don't have exercise steps in, or whatever. But I'll also get like really panicky sometimes when I'm like, I'm not going to make my goals for today. Like, I have to make
Mm,
my goals, and it like freaks you out. Or like if you're only like a couple minutes away and it's like, oh my God, let me go like quick, do something, or like shake my wrist so I can,
yeah.
get my stand goal in or whatever. And it's
Mhm.
like, God, how tied am I to that sometimes? Even something
Right.
that's theoretically supposed to encourage me to be like physically active and like away from technology, and my technology is making me panicky about that thing.
Right.
Um, so yeah, so it was just kind of interesting to think about like, yeah, it really can, even something that's so great for you to like, to remind you to get physical exercise can be like this very like troubling thing tied to technology.
Yeah.
Um, or like, I was thinking about how easy it would be to have a conversation with someone, and if your phone is like in your contact lens and you're just like scrolling the internet and not even really listening, like how much easier would that be having a conversation with someone and you're just like reading some news on your eye
Yeah.
and just going, "Mhm," and not really listening. Like at least
Right.
now like they know when you're looking like, "Okay, all right, I'm looking at my
Right.
phone, like now I'm looking at you." You
Right.
know, even if you try to be subtle, you really can't.
Hmm.
But I don't know how
Yeah.
like a contact lens would go.
It, so, I have to say, like, well, okay, watching a show and you're on a phone or on a computer or something
Mhm.
at the same time, it's just like common for our age, not even just our age bracket, for the
Yeah.
time we live in.
Yeah.
Um, and the response I'll get is, well, I can multitask. I can do two things at once.
Yeah. Can you?
Is it, you can, but is it good? Is
Does it
multitasking in this way inherently better? Are you better off because you
right.
can you can scroll through memes while you watch,
Mhm.
UFC fights?
Right. Right.
I,
Or like are you really getting your work done while you're watching whatever you're watching, even if it's just
mhm,
background noise? Like sometimes I think it's yes and sometimes like no. Like
mhm.
it does take you twice as long because you're like apt to just like look up and mindlessly watch some minutes and then be like, "Oh shoot. Okay, all right. I got to do the
Yep.
thing."
Right. Yep. How much faster could a person get ready in the morning or something like that if you just
Mhm.
like just did it
Yep.
as opposed to,
I got to have
I
my
don't know.
stuff on while I do it. Yeah.
Right. I just this is not last week when Tony says I'm in a tech crisis. This is not what he was referring to. But it's something I more and more keep thinking about now. And
Yeah.
because I have my like fake account for Facebook that is if in case we wanted to do some sort of live stream thing on there.
Yeah.
And um then that's attached to Instagram. And I've been proud of myself that I haven't gone on this app to look through things because I could totally like, oh, there's all my people I used to know and like people from high school and different,
Ye
all people I haven't heard from in years. And
Yep.
I could see what they're up to. But, honestly, and it's not that I don't want to know what anyone's up to, but I
Mhm.
don't want to like passively through the window do it. Like if
Mhm.
we want to get together and visit, that's different. But
Right.
I don't want to sit and like experience other people's lives by flipping through this thing
Mhm.
because it's not doing anything for me. That's not
Right.
uh,
Like, what does
it's
that do to know,
right.
like, so and
I
so went on a Florida vacation the other
right.
week?
I could be making my way through Buffy that I've never seen before, or or reading another impactful book, or learning my Korean or something. Anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be useful. Just I could be doing something in the physical, real world,
Mhm.
and like I know I'm not saying new things here. I just keep thinking about like,
Yeah.
could I switch to just having basically a dumb phone and make it work, and would my life be better
Mm.
for it? You know, my
Can you
thought
even
is,
find a dumb phone anymore?
well, quote unquote dumb, because you can get them that
Okay.
are still they still give you the necessities, that I would say necessities. So you can still get some maps, you can get directions, you
Okay.
know. You can still go on the internet. You can still text. You can still look at YouTube, but you're not going to, because it's
Sure.
on a not good screen, and it's like
Sure.
slow. It's
Doesn't
the old.
invite you, yeah.
Yeah, right. We do this and just swipe forever because it's so easy, you know?
Yes.
Um, so could I get by that way? And would I be better for it, or would I just be like pulling my hair out all the time?
Sure.
Would I
Yeah,
be
it's
healthier?
it's it's hard to say. I resisted getting a smartphone for so long. So long. I don't think I got one, boy, until I was in grad school, which was 2013, which, I mean, smartphones had been out for quite some time.
Yep,
And I loved it. I loved that I didn't have a smartphone. I loved that I couldn't go on the internet to check out all these things and, play games and watch streaming. Like, I couldn't do anything. And I loved it so much because, I'd just see people like in restaurants, and I'd see them on the trains, and I'd see them elsewhere, just like glued to the phone,
yep.
couldn't look away. Um, and I think it would be tough to go back to that, but there definitely was a part of me that was happier.
Mhm.
Um, you know, Unfortunately at the time I really needed access to the internet, and like I needed to read my emails because things changed like half an hour sometimes before class started. It would be canceled. Well, I'd really
Sure.
love to not drive to campus, sit
Right.
in class and be like, "Where is everybody?" if I didn't
Mhm.
have to. So yeah, or like, homework would be posted, or, articles needed to be read for class. So I had to get it. But there was always a part of me that really regretted it.
Mhm. Yeah, well, see, and for some reason, and it's kind of weird, I guess, but maybe you can pinpoint it. For some reason, I think
Sure.
there's if society is never going to like, if this is better for us to be like more focused, more present, less
Mhm.
involved in everything else all the time
Mhm.
at once, um like that new movie, I guess. Is it like, if society isn't ever going to go that direction, like
Mhm.
what good is it for me to do that, you know like I
Is
guess
it but
just
is it good for you?
right, exactly. Yeah, but then I'm just, I'm already always the odd one out. I'm already always the counterculture. So
Mhm.
do I need one more thing to be like the odd person out? It gets tiring,
Yeah.
And so I guess I don't know. Yeah, and it's not like being opposed to technology. Like cuz I would still
You love
have
tech. Yeah.
right. I still have a laptop, tablet, all kind of thing. But the point is, you go to those things. They're not
Mhm.
attached to you.
Right.
So, it's like Ashley's like, well, if I want to read my webtoons, it's like, well, yeah, but if you want to do that, you can go get an iPad,
Sit
read
down
it,
and open it
and
up,
when you're
yeah.
done, you put that and you go on along your way. You don't shove the iPad in your pocket, you
Right.
know? It's not on your hip. So,
Mhm.
like, if you need to check your emails, yeah, you check your emails at home. And like, do you need to check them when you're out and about for sure, you know?
Mhm.
Or so it makes you use the technology for a purpose as
Right.
opposed to mindlessly using technology just because it's attached and convenient.
Mhm.
You know, I listen to podcasts and like things live all the time on YouTube. I just have
Mhm.
YouTube Premium, and so all the time. Oh, I follow so many people. Someone's live all the time. I put it in my pocket, be listening. Is that adding anything really? Again, it's like just the background noise, the filler to my life.
Mhm.
You know, I
Mhm.
could just not have that.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's I was gonna I was gonna say I love that this like movie is like sparking this and we haven't even watched it. We're
Yeah.
like just like already like God, this question of technology and how addicted we are to various facets of it is just, it's so troubling.
Yep.
And we don't stop and think about it enough, I think. If the answer for somebody is like, "Yes, I need my smartphone," or like, "I would feel unhappy without it," like, fine. But I don't know, it's a good question to, like, ask yourself every once in a while, like, stop, take an honest review. Is this really making my life better that I
Right.
have this like little pocket device that I can do all of these things all the time? Do I feel that urge? Like, do I feel that need to like, grab my phantom phone when it's not there and it's
Mhm.
locked away from me? Um, and I mean, even the other day, like I've had that urge, where I've left my phone somewhere and I keep like but what will I do if it's not immediately in reach for me? Like, I
Mhm.
don't know what I need it for, but I need it. It
Yeah.
needs to be by me. So I can play a game or I can check my email or whatever. And does that really make me happier, now that I'm out of, school and I don't need to check my emails for class things, did it really make me happier knowing I've got like a work email that, came in at 8 o'clock at night that I'm now thinking about
Right.
but I shouldn't be thinking about it because I'm off the clock. What am I really gonna do about it?
Yeah.
Is it really gonna make a difference that now I'm worried about it until, 7 o'clock tomorrow morning when I'm back on the clock?
Right. What if you had instead, you had just like not had your thing, you'd spend time with Chris or whatever. When you get up in the
Right.
morning, you make your coffee, then you log onto your computer and check your email.
Deal with it then,
There it
yeah.
is, you know?
It's still there.
Mhm. Like,
There's so
there's
few true genuine emergencies. Like there have been
yes.
moments, you know, when that's been useful, but like 90% of the time, I'll check my email and that's great if that's when somebody else is working and that works for them in this kind of very flexible technological age. Sometimes you don't work a 9 to 5 and that's fine, but if I did work a 9 to 5, why do I need to be constantly like checking and
Yeah.
checking in about things?
There's two main reasons why like I'm being held up on this.
Mhm.
One is that I one is safety. So I think that you can have a flip phone, you can have a phone that and you can do a lot of things, but it's harder to do them, so you're
Mhm.
less likely to do that.
Sure.
And so you can still call for emergencies, and of course, you can still do those things. But my watch for emergencies, if I get in a car accident, it will sense the motion and call 911.
Very true.
If
As we
I
all know
am
from Apple commercials now.
right, if working in the field, I jump out of the tractor and I don't think to have my phone in my pocket or something like that. Something terrible happens, you can get your arm stuck in something or whatever. My watch is there,
Mhm.
like it's a literally this safety element for the most extreme circumstances.
Mhm.
Now, how often is that? Of course, like never, you know, but it's a convenience and a safety thing that is there. You're about to have a heart attack. My watch will tell me, "Hey,
Yeah.
your heart rate is like
Your heart
ridiculous
rate
right
your
now."
heart rate is
Like,
insane.
yeah.
Check yourself.
So that's one. The other is just literally for the inconvenience of others. I feel I already feel like I would never switch back to Android, not only because I hate Google, but because yeah, Google's evil, so I don't want to touch them when I don't have to, whatever. But also because I don't want to be the green bubble because it's annoying. It's really annoying. Like
Mm.
if you're on iPhone and you have a group chat or whatever, you can't just add someone. Every image you send is super compressed. Videos
Yep,
look like garbage.
they
You can't react to
do.
things. You can't thumbs up. What all the simple things that you would do
Yes.
is just gone.
No,
And
Chris and I have that, and it's
yeah,
so frustrating because he's an Android user,
yeah.
and, so we were doing this whole, like, whole first year of Everett's life, we did a video a day,
Hmm.
and we compress I talked about this, and we compressed it all into one big video, and it was adorable, but we had to send each other the videos through Messenger because every time we tried to
Yeah.
text them to each other, it was just, like, grainy shit. Or
Yep.
like pictures that we take of her, like they never come out as well when we just text them to each other or whatever. Or
Yep.
like Chris always talks about, we're on group chats and he's like, I just see like Dana liked the thing. Andrea
Yeah.
gave a thumbs up to the thing. Andrea
Yep.
loves blah. And he's like, it's so annoying. And I'm like,
That's his
well,
fault. Stop
I
using
can't do
Google
anything
garbage.
about that.
But yeah, it's yes. It's so I don't want to do that to people, honestly. And
Mm,
all those things are nice. They're really
they
nice.
are.
Because
Yeah.
otherwise you have to get everybody to switch to something else.
Hmm.
Use hey, everyone in my life use Signal. Hey,
Hmm.
everyone in my life, join Alphabet or Meta. Join Meta so you
Yeah.
can use Facebook Messenger. You
Right.
know,
Right.
use WeChat so all your messages can be spied on. Like, like everybody in my life, I'll inconvenience you and switch to this other thing for me.
Hmm.
So, and I wouldn't even be doing that if I was on a flip phone. It'd be even worse.
Right.
You know.
Well, I mean, you'd
So
still have texting,
yeah, but wouldn't. It would
but
all be the same kind of deal. It'd
yeah.
be the green
It wouldn't
bubble.
yeah, it wouldn't be the
There
same,
would be
yeah.
no switching to other services. So
Yeah.
that's yeah. Those are the two things that keep me from doing it, I think.
I
So,
get it.
like, trying to be courteous to others, but I'm at the cost of my own sanity or something.
Yeah,
So,
it's hard because, there are really fun things about having a smartphone. That quick gratification of like looking something up when you're in a conversation and you're like, "What is this thing? Who is this person? Like, do you remember that event?" Like, that's so helpful.
yeah,
Or like you say, like, the chats that you're able to have with everybody, like the communication you can have, it's so great. Or like the directions,
yep,
the essentials that you really need are so helpful, but it's hard not to get sucked into the extra stuff.
yep,
It's hard not to have these essential things without all the other things, thus resulting in you just like mindlessly grabbing your phone.
yep, yep. Well, that was an aside, but like you say, inspired
Quite
by
the aside, yeah.
this but yeah, it's a conversation I always wanna have, I always think about, so
Well, and it'll be interesting to see what this movie does. I mean, the trailer, for being French made, is also quite brief and pretty enigmatic about
yeah,
what exactly the purpose of this movie is. Um, Suffice it to say, I mean, I think we both found it very intriguing and very creepy, and it's just got like a vibe that I'm really
yep,
interested in. But it'd be interesting to see what the content of the film is really about.
yep. Well,
So
see
credit
this.
to
I
the
think it's
future.
May 25th, I think is it was.
Hmm.
And if you ever decide to detect some, I will join you in solidarity.
Nice, nice. Stand together.
Yeah.